Listen and listen very carefully. Whosoever I appear to reveal the way out from their troubled hearts, must do as I said. My daughter, there is no going back. Go back home to your house. Get yourself prepared for the ritual, she said in a commanding voice. Go home now. Go home. I say go right now. A long time ago, in the city of Port, lived a young woman named Nneka, known for her radiant beauty, compassion, and unwavering loyalty. Nneka was a beacon of hope and strength in her small community. One day, Nneka's friend invited Nneka to her child's naming ceremony party. As she got there, Nneka, being a shy person, sat by the corner of the living room of her friend, avoiding to have conversation with people. But her jaw dropped when a handsome, charming young man named Chukwuka approached her. She couldn't resist the young-looking young man. They both chatted all through the party. Nneka was surprised to find out that Chukwuka was an elder brother to her best friend. Nneka thought to herself, how come I have never seen my friend's elder brother? Her friend Uju was very excited to see her friend Nneka chatting with her brother. She said to herself, I know Nneka, my best friend, would be a good wife to my brother Chuka. Uju feeling so excited. After the day of her friend's baby naming ceremony party, Nneka and Chukwuka never left each other's sides. They fell in love. Nneka loved Chukwuka with all her being, and Chukwuka loved her too. Their love was so intense that made them inseparable. They concluded that they were going to spend the rest of their lives together, and they proceeded to get married. Chukwuka was a skilled craftsman and very hardworking. He was very good with his skill, with his hands that could turn wood into art and metal into treasures. Despite his talents, opportunities were scarce, and they found themselves trapped in the clutches of poverty. Nneka, however, was determined to support her husband and improve their situation. In the evening of that day, Nneka called Chukwuka, her husband. My love, please, there is something I want to discuss with you. I would like to go to one of my uncle's house. He is very rich and wealthy. I want to go and speak with him about our situation and to see if I can get some money from him to start up a business so that I can support the family. Chukwuka, her husband, replied, My love, you know I am not comfortable with this, going to seek help from a relation. Nneka said to him, Yes, my husband, I know you don't like it, but we can't just keep quiet. I want to support you in your business as well, so that you will grow along. And Chukwuka said, I can see your mind is made up. Okay, no problem. You can go and visit your uncle if that is what you want. The next morning, Nneka went to visit one of her rich uncle to seek for financial help so that she can start up a small trade. But the amount of money her uncle gave to her wasn't enough to start up the type of trade she wanted, talk less of giving to her husband to add to his own business. She later decided to start selling something different from what she has planned to do. Nneka became more frustrated because customers are not buying from her as they should, and she regretted why she invested the money into the business. One fateful evening, she went to the market to buy some foodstuff to cook for herself and her husband. As she returned from the market, she sat outside her house just to receive some fresh air. An old woman approached her. She turned to see who the person was. The woman's eyes held a depth of ancient wisdom, and her presence seemed to command the very hair around her. And she spoke to Nneka in a voice that was both gentle and commanding. "My child," the old woman began, her eyes peering Nneka's souls, "I have seen your struggle and the purity of your heart. There is a way to lift the burden of poverty from your shoulders, but it requires a sacrifice of great personal cost." Nneka was very worried and confused, intrigued and desperate. Nneka listened intently as the old woman revealed an ancient ritual that could bestow immense wealth upon her family. Nneka would have to make a profound sacrifice using her breast, a symbol of femininity and nurturing spirit. The ritual was ancient, shrouded in secrecy, and its effect irreversible. Nneka's heart pounded with fear and hope as she contemplated the weight of this decision. Nneka then stood up, thinking very fast, questioning herself. How did I get here? How did this strange woman find me? Who told her that we are struggling for breakthrough? A lot of questions and thoughts overloads her mind. I have to pray about this, and I will never tell Chukwuka, my husband, Nneka said to herself. After days of reflection and prayers, Nneka made her choice. She could not bear to see her husband suffer any longer, nor could she bear the thought of her future children growing up in destitution. After days of reflection, Nneka summoned courage to visit the old woman. On getting there, the old woman told her to sit down, and she sat with her heart beating so fast. The old woman asked her, "My daughter, have you come for the sacrifice?" Nneka stammered, not yet, ma, but I have come to ask you some questions that bothers me, and some favor as well." The old woman said to her, "It's all right. Let me hear what you have to say." And Nneka, in fear, not knowing what the outcome of what she was about to ask would be, suddenly Nneka summoned courage and said to the old woman, "Ma, please, I was wondering if there is any other way to perform the ritual without using any of my body parts. Can an animal be used for the ritual? Please, ma, I don't mind. I will go and borrow some money to buy any kind of animal that will be required." And the old woman laughed in a scary, loud voice. She said to Nneka, "My daughter, nothing can substitute the ritual for wealth." She explained further, "Your breast will stand as a symbol that connects you with the ancient powers of wealth." And Nneka, voice filled with fear and trembling, and she said, Please, ma, help me." And the old woman said to her, "There is nothing that can be done about it." The woman stood up from where she was sitting, moving backward, called Nneka's name, listening and listening very carefully. "Whosoever I appear to reveal the way out from their troubled hearts must do as I said. My daughter, there is no going back. Go back home to your house. Get yourself prepared for the ritual, she said in a commanding voice. Go home now. Go home. I say go right now. Nneka, in fear and shaking at the same time, ran out of the place. She said to herself, what have I done? Who did this to me? What am I going to do about this? How will I come out of this trouble? That night, she got home. She couldn't sleep. She prayed, reflected, cried, and she wiped her tears. And suddenly, she became calm and at peace with herself. After nights of contemplation and prayer, Nneka's mind was made up, and the love she had for her husband Chukwuka. With a determined heart, she sought out the old woman who guided her to a secluded shrine deep in the forest. Nneka became so scared, seeing herself in the thick bush without any of her family knowing where she went to. The air was thick with the scent of incense. Flickering candlelight cast air, dancing shadows on the stone walls. Nneka was asked to remove her clothes and change into the red clothes they gave to her. She tied it around her waist, and her eyes was blindfolded with a red cloth. And immediately the ritual commenced with solemn chants and invocations to the ancient spirits. Nneka was very scared. She began to shake until she passed out. After some seconds, she passed back to life. Nneka, lying on a stone altar, felt a mixture of fear and determination. As the old woman performed the ritual, Nneka's mind raced with thoughts of her husband, her love overshadowing the pain she was about to endure with a swift and precise movement. The ritual was completed and Nneka's breast was cut off and was sacrificed. While she was away, Chukwuka had searched everywhere for her. She was nowhere to be found. Chukwuka, Nneka's husband, planned to visit the police station to report the case first thing in the morning. The next day, Nneka returned home very early in the morning, feeling very weak and in pain. At the same time, she concealed her pain from Chukwuka, her husband, whom noticed a change in his wife's behavior. Asked, "What is wrong with you, my wife? You look worn out." She said, "Nothing, it's just that I'm feeling unwell. But don't worry, I will be fine once I take enough rest," said Nneka. But Chukwuka, her husband, persisted. "Let me take you to the roadside chemist close to the house." Nneka declined. That she will be fine, Chukwudi said to her, "Okay, let me get you pain relief tablets from the chemist." She replied and said, "Okay, that will be fine, thank you." Chukwuka, her husband, rushed to the roadside chemist. He bought some pain relief tablets, thinking that will help her to feel much more better. Few days later, Chukwuka resumed back to his business. He was very busy crafting when two customers walked into his shop demanding for some of his crafts. Before the end of the day, Chukwuka made a lot of sales. His craftsmanship was in high demand, and lucrative opportunities poured in from every corner of the city. Their once small earnings transformed into substantial wealth miraculously. Their fortune began to change overnight, allowing them to build a beautiful home and enjoy the comfort they had long dreamed of. However, Chukwuka was amazed by the sudden change. He thought to himself, why is this sudden fortune? I didn't do or change anything in the way I do business. I wasn't strong in prayers, or have God chose to show me mercy? Anyways, I thank God for this was a miracle. However, the price of this newfound prosperity weighed heavily on Nneka. She bore the physical and emotional scars of her sacrifice, and the secret she kept for her husband tormented her soul. Despite their material success, Nneka's health began to deteriorate, and she often found herself lost in thought. One evening, as the sun set over the busy city, Nneka and Chukwuka was sitting in the living room. He noticed tears streaming down Nneka's face. He could no longer ignore the pain. She tried so hard to hide it. Gently he took her hand and asked, Nneka, my love, what troubles you so deeply? With a heavy heart, Nneka revealed the truth about her sacrifice, how she sacrificed her breast. She spoke of the old woman, the ritual, and the price she had to pay for their wealth. Chukwuka was overwhelmed with shock and sorrow. He held Nneka closely, tears mingling with his word as he whispered, Why? Why did you not tell me, Nneka? I would have chosen a life of poverty over losing any part of you. Nneka, weak but filled with love, replied, I did it for us, for our future. I could not bear to see you suffer any longer. Chukwuka's heart ached with gratitude and guilt. He vowed to cherish Nneka and make the most of the life she sacrificed so much to build. Together they faced the future with a deeper understanding of love, sacrifice, and the true meaning of wealth. Chukwuka's prosperity continued to grow, but now it was with a sense of purpose and a desire to give back to his family and to the less privileged ones. Nneka, though physically weakened, found strength in the love and respect she received from her husband and her loved ones. She became a symbol of sacrifice and resilience. Her story inspired others to appreciate the true essence of love and the length one would go for the happiness of a loved one. As the year went by, Nneka and Chukwuka lived the best of their life. Their home was filled with laughter of children. They were blessed with 4 wonderful children, 2 boys and 2 girls. And their legacy was love, sacrifice, and the unwavering bond. Nneka's sacrifice was honored not just in wealth they had amassed, but in the lives they touched and the hearts they inspired. Nneka and Chukwuka's story became the power of love and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Nneka's name became synonymous with selfless love, and her story was passed down through generations as a reminder that true wealth is not measured by material possessions, but by the love and sacrifices we make for those we hold dearly. I will be ending this story referencing on a Bible verse in Hebrews chapter 13 verse 5 says, "Keep your life free from love of money and be content with what you have, for he has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you." Mark chapter 8 verse 36 says, "For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" We should learn to wait in the Lord and always pray, prayer without ceasing, and hoping that one day God will hear our prayers and supplications. Choose reputation over great riches. Being held in high esteem is better than silver or gold. Thank you so much for watching this story. Please let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not done so. Also share the story with your friends, family and loved ones. Until I bring another story your way. Bye.